I had to remind myself, God, that His countenance is shining upon me.
Yes, Lord.
Man. Hopefully everybody had a great day today. Or a blessed day. I know, well, if you're here, you had a blessed day.
Amen.
My day was great. And then that text message came in. Can you teach tonight? Yeah. No, I'm playing. It's an honor to do it. It's an honor to be called on. Thank you, baby. So, we'll try not to be too long tonight. So, love is in the air. Isn't that beautiful? What do you mean, oh goodness? Love is in the air. Why are you talking about some oh goodness and you sitting next to your husband talking about some oh goodness? I guess love is in the air. Is he talking about us, honey? He is? Okay. Praise him. No. Love is in the air. And is that how you feel, Erica? For real? All these years I've been calling you haircut. This is how you feel. Love is in the air. And ain't nobody there for me. No, I'm playing. Dang, what was that?
Glass.
No, I know it's got a little aroma to it. I ain't pointing fingers. I ain't accusing nobody of nothing, but it's got a little aroma to it. But no, this is relationship class, and I just said that to be saying it. Love is in the air, but more importantly, we want to make sure that with love in the air and with everybody in a very festive and jittery mood, because one thing about love, it gets you all jittery and you feel a little dainty and a little light in the feet. Light in the feet if you're a woman. Ain't no dude supposed to be light in the feet, but I mean, you still got that going. But women, you can't stop smiling. Look at Pastor Lynn. Man, Pastor Lynn, she is so. I ain't seen her smile like this. I'd love to see her right now when she's catering, boy. She probably caters with a smile on her face. Usually she's like the tormentor from damnation going off on them, boy. I'd love to see her now. She probably all super nice and swinging her wrist. But love is in the air, and the man of God just asked me to cover a couple of things, and I'm not going to be too long. It's important that you have the right. There is love in the air, but it's important that you have the right one, that you have the right mate, that you are hooked up. That is God that intersects the man and the woman. And for those of y'all that are smiling and are happy, hopefully it is a man that is finding you, and you have not found a man, because I'm just saying. Proverbs 18:22 tells us, "Whosoever findeth a wife." It doesn't say anything in there about whosoever findeth a husband. So you ain't supposed to be looking for nothing. Hopefully that man has found you. But in him finding you, there's a couple of things that you got to have. First of all, you want to make sure, and I believe wholeheartedly that this house of God, we have true women of God. We have women of God that show that are real about theirs. Ain't nobody out here trying to put their best foot forward. Don't nobody try to put their good toe out there just to, catch the attention of somebody and then, play holiness on the catch-up, on the relay catch-up. You know what I mean? Like, I know that the women of God in here, if a man finds y'all, when a man finds y'all, he's getting the real deal. He ain't getting he's not getting pulled for the okie doke.
Right.
He's not getting hit with the okie doke. He's not, it may be your beauty that first attract him, but it's the God in you, and it's your inner essence that's going to keep him, invigorated, and keep him, wanting to learn and know more about you and wanting to, eventually make you a wife. But as that happens, you want to make sure that as you present yourself as a woman of God, and even you fellas that are single, the men that are single, you want to make sure that you find a real woman of God. You don't want to be unequally yoked. You don't want to go find something that's, like Nate, you're faithful, man. I mean, you're a faithful usher. You're a faithful man of God. You're here for prayer hour. You're here every Sunday at 7 o'clock. You know, you praise God from the bell. I mean, you can tell when Nate's praising God. You can hear Nate. You can be on the altar, but you can hear Nate, and it's not phony. It's not fake. He praises God from his soul. Like, it's just a hallelujah. It's, you know, it's somebody that's been through something. It's somebody that God has lifted up, God has raised up and blessed. So, Nate, you would look real crazy if you left the sanctuary to find a wife. You would look nuts. That wouldn't even sound right. Nate leaving church to go find a woman that, you know, goes to the club. That doesn't add up. That don't sound right. Nate leaving the church to find a woman that she goes to, what's that strip club? I don't know. Don't answer that. He wouldn't look right chasing that type of woman. He wouldn't look right chasing a girl that goes to Freaknik, even though Freaknik no longer exists. He wouldn't look right. That's outside of who he is. Likewise, my mouth's already getting dry. Our women of God, you want a man of God to find you in motion and who can match your hustle. Who can match your hustle. As a matter of fact, his hustle is a little stronger than yours. You guys want to be on one accord. You don't want the last thing in the world that we want. Like, I'm just going to use for example, take Queenie. Queenie's a fast stepper, not just physically, but in everything she does. She's a fast stepper. Can't no slow man keep up with her. Can't no dude that doesn't want to come to church keep up with her. Can't nobody that doesn't want to learn. Somebody outside of the sanctuary could be intrigued by Queenie and see, like, man, he sees everything that he wants in this woman, and he could be serious about it. Like, you know what? I don't have what. But let me find out. Let me go investigate. Let me do what I got to do. I'll tell you this: when I married Coco, before I married Coco. And everybody knows me and Coco went to high school together. We were prom dates and all that type of stuff. But even with all of that, even though we went to prom together, we were never dating. We were never courting. We were just like cool. We were like brother and sister. We were best friends for years. And ask anybody. We never like, babe, did I ever? I mean, we never came at her. Never nothing. In the back of my head, I felt that way, but I never came at her like that. And I'd always kept my eye, even when I left for the military, I always kept my eye on her. And I always kind of kept my eye on what she was doing and what was going on with her. And I knew that, you know, man, like that, like I even went so far as when I was in the military, I dated a woman just because she reminded me of Coco. And so when we first started courting, when we first started getting together, I didn't even, like when we were talking on the phone and stuff like that, everything I did, I ran it through two people. I ran it through my mother-in-law, or I ran it through the man of God. And I'm just talking about me. Everything I did, every single thing, like, you know, well, Bishop, should I do this? Bishop, should I do that? You know, Mom, I just want you to know, like everything I did. Even, matter of fact, let me back up. Even when I asked her to the prom, knowing I had the feelings that I had, I didn't just walk up to Coco and ask her. I asked her for permission to take Coco to prom, or for permission to even ask her. And we accorded, you know, when we started dating, we accorded, we did everything I did. I ran it past the man of God, or I ran it past her. And, you know, even as we start collecting data, you know, you can know each other as friends, but then when you start trying to be serious, that kind of changes things a little bit. And I promise you, everything I did, I ran it past the man of God first. I ran it past her first. I'd even told her when I was going to propose, when I was in town. Everything I did, I ran it past her. I only say that to say, I put all my cards on the table. I put all my cards on the table, and I made it known that I wanted that woman right there. I made it known everything I did was focused on me acquiring that woman right there. I was in the military. I would send her letters. I would call her while I remember I was in Afghanistan, and you know they let you do what was called morale phone calls and stuff like that, where they give you this little DSN card, and you get to make like 15-minute calls. And what you got to do is you got to call to the base that's closest to where you're from. So I had to call the Offutt, and then an Offutt operator had to hook me up to her phone line, and that's how you talk for like 15 minutes. Star knows what I'm talking about. That's how they do you when you're in the military. You get morale phone calls. I don't know if you've ever had that, Stephen, but They give you those 15-minute morale calls when you're in Afghanistan. So I'd be like, all right, hold on, the phone's about to hang up on you, click, and then I have to call her back on a different card and stuff like that. But everything I did, I made my intentions known. My intentions were out there for her to see, for everybody to know. This is what we had even went so far, me and the man of God, we were planning out what kind of house I was going to try to get, what I was trying to, we laid everything out. What I'm saying, I say all that to say, the man that chases you women, you want him to put all his cards on the table. He needs to put all his cards on the table.
Amen.
Because if you serve God with a whole heart, if you give God everything, you don't want no dude that's coming with half his story.
All right.
You want to know everything. And it shouldn't be no mystery. It should be free access to learn.
All right.
He should be willing to give that information up. It should be like, who do I need to talk to? Oh, I got to meet your dad? Oh, yeah, I'll meet your dad. Man, I got to meet your mom. Man, and everything I said, like, I remember when I gave her and y'all know I'm not even close to my parents. I remember giving her my mother's phone number. And her and my mom actually got close. I was like, dang, she's got a better relationship with my mom than I do. But she would call my mom would call her. I remember giving my dad, I let it be known what I was doing and how I was going to do it. And I want nothing less for my sisters in Christ. I don't want no man coming to y'all without him putting his cards on the table and letting it be known. And when it comes to because y'all got to be on one accord. Y'all got to be on one accord. Let's get Matthew 18. Let me just start there. Let's get Matthew 18. You have to be on one accord. You don't want to slow walk when it comes to who you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
All right.
You don't want to slow walk. You don't want to be trying to play catch up. You don't want him playing catch up when you're used to moving fast. If you think in terms of a relay, he's got to be right there with the baton. There can't be that distance. Like on a 4x1 relay, you're this person, you're used to being a sprinter. Queenie, you used to being a sprinter. When they say stick, pow, it's right there. Your hand's right there. Everything you do in the house of God, stick, pow.
Yes, sir.
Stick, pow.
Yep.
Stick, pow. Queenie's never missed a race. She's never been disqualified because she's outside the exchange zone.
Come on, man. Come on.
She's never been outside the exchange zone.
Yes, yes.
So you're going to look real crazy when you come up with somebody who's falling over his steps. He can't keep up with you. Stand up for a second, Day-Day. Just turn your back that way. He's trying to toss you to stick way back here. Put your arm back. Hand. He's yelling hand, and he ain't even within rhythm. He's nowhere near you. Those of you guys that have ran track before, y'all know how crazy that looks. Y'all see that person out here like this. Pretty soon they fall and trip over, and then this person like, man. They don't even think that the race isn't over. You can still pick the stick up and run. They're just mad because the exchange is messed up. You want a smooth handoff. You want a smooth handoff.
Yes.
If this man is not in stick, if he can't catch you, if he can't stride and catch you, bam, hand. You would even rather him be up on you. You almost want him up on you. You want him to be faster than you.
Right.
Proverbs 18:22 says, whosoever findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So that means he's looking. So you can't have bigger eyes and bigger ambition than the man that's supposed to be chasing you. If you got bigger eyes and bigger ambition, we got a problem. That's not going to work. Because y'all not going to be equally yoked. Thanks, Dede. Go ahead and read Proverbs 18, verse 18 through 20.
Proverbs or Matthew?
Oh, I'm sorry, Matthew. Listen to me. I'm sorry.
Sorry, 18.
Matthew 18 through 20.
Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven.
You want to be linked up with somebody that you can touch and agree with.
Yes, sir.
You want to have a man of God and a woman of God that you can touch and agree with. Because remember, whatever you guys bind on earth shall be bound. Whatever you bind, whatever you loose, that's what it is. How you gonna bind with somebody that don't believe what you believe?
Right.
How you gonna bind with somebody who doesn't have the vigor? They don't even have their energy does not match your energy. Their energy doesn't match. You want God in the innermost parts of your soul. If they don't know what you know, there should be something that's yearning, but I gotta learn this because I know this is a life-changing woman. I gotta watch that man that doesn't have a hungry eye. The man that finds you, he has to have a hungry eye, not just simply for you, but he has to know that through you, he finds the answers to his purpose. He can find God. He can find what God has for him through you.
Yes, sir.
So it's really bigger than you. He's looking through you, but he sees God. And if that ain't happening, you
Okay.
keep running. If that ain't happening, keep running. It just went from a relay to a 400-meter dash for you.
Yes, sir.
The point is, you don't slow down for nobody. I don't care how good looking he is. I don't care how muscular he is. I don't care if his scent, he wears the right fragrance or the right Creed or Tom Ford that you like. I don't care what it is. You don't slow down your hustle to catch nobody. You don't slow down and make yourself accessible when they don't have that energy. Read verse 20.
For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
2 or 3 gathered. So the God should be right in the midst of y'all. Remember the triangle. God should be right in the midst of everything that goes on between you and your husband or you and your wife. Your perspective, y'all have to have that. Or he has to have remember, and his passion to learn, just because he doesn't know what you know, that passion to learn the word, he has to want to come for himself. He has to want to know he wants to know God for himself. He doesn't want to know your God. He wants to know God. He wants to know God for himself because he's seen beauty through you. He got a vision of you and said, wow, I know, okay, all right, God is doing something. I need to, and it should go from you to, before I even, God, I need you. I can't step to that. I know you created this for me, but I'm not in a position where I'm ready to, let me get myself in order. Let me get myself together.
That's right.
That's what you're looking for. It has to be that snap, and it has to be that energy where he does that without you coaxing him. He does that without you prodding him. He does that without you suggesting.
There you go.
You do yourself a disservice if you're doing all the coaxing, suggesting, talking, ushering. You're not no woman of God. You shouldn't have to do that. Right. You shouldn't have to do that. That man should see you and he should know it is good. He should know what he found. He should see you and see the immediate difference between you and all the other skanks or other hurtful women out there. It should be an immediate, hey fellas, be honest. You knew right away, those of you who are married, you knew right away there's something different about your wife compared to every other woman you ever seen. Am I right?
Right.
Don't leave me out here, am I right? Okay. And they gave you what? Man, I can't let this one get away. I can't let this one get away. This is a good thing. I can't let this one get away. How can you get in touch with God if y'all got to be on one accord? My mouth is drying out already. Turn to Proverbs. Actually, no, not Proverbs. Here's why it's so important for y'all to be on the same page. Because wives, you have to balance us husbands out. You have to balance us out. You know, we're the head. Ephesians, as a matter of fact, Ephesians talks about that. Get Ephesians 5 real quick. We need help. Those of y'all that are married, you already know that. We need help. Yeah, we're the head, but Ephesians 5. I really want to get down to, you know what, let's just start at 21.
Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it.
We need y'all help. We can't do it all by ourselves. You have to solve. Women, you and your wives, you guys are problem solvers. And even though we're the head, you're our counsel. You're our strengthening belt. You're our wall. You're everything. We bounce our ideas. We bounce our confidence. We bounce everything we do off of you. So that's why you got to make sure that you're hooked up with the right person, because ain't no sense in bouncing stuff off a dud. Ain't no sense in bouncing something off somebody that doesn't have a vision. Ain't no sense in bouncing something off somebody who doesn't even believe in the God that you serve. So it's kind of like this. Rafi, stand up. I'm not going to do nothing to embarrass you, dog. Come stand right here. Yeah, you'll need both hands. No, get into a fighter stance. Okay, all right, lefty. All right.
Oh, go ahead, Ralph.
Okay. All right. All right.
Go ahead, Ralphie.
So Rafi is everything that comes up against a man, comes up against a husband, comes up against a family. Rafi represents that. Be ready to duke. And me, I'm right-handed. I'm right here. All right. I'm right-handed. This is my power punch. This is the hand that I use to throw my strength, to throw my powerful punches with. Where in this equation, where in this picture do you think the wife is?
In the middle?
Right here in this hand. If I drop my hands down,
Dang.
no, step into her. No, step in.
Ooh.
I catch the full brunt of whatever's trying to kill me. I catch the full brunt of whatever my problems are. So husbands, you gotta honor your wife. You can't have her sitting down here. You gotta include her in whatever plans you're trying to make for the family, whatever moves that you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to take the family. Your wife you can't have your defense down here and you stepping up against something that's trying to knock you the heck out.
Wow.
Your hand has to be here. So all I'm looking for is an opening. I'm just looking for an opening. And you gotta throw that thing with speed, power, and precision. That's your wife. That's the job of a wife. A wife has to say, no, honey, that's it right there. That's what God has for us. Move. No, that's it right there, babe. You looking at that bill? That's move. A wife has to be our wisdom. A wife has to be the person. Remember, she's our strengthening belt, but everything we do, if we don't do anything with power, we're nothing without our wives. That's why you got to pick a good one. So if I got my defenses down here because either I don't trust my wife, or I don't talk to my wife, or I don't believe my wife can understand or comprehend what I'm going through, or maybe I just don't respect her the way I act like I do, I'm down here. I'm wide open. Satan can hit me with keep swinging. Satan can hit me with anything and everything he wants. I gotta have throw something else. I gotta have my wife right there. No, baby. No. That ain't God. No. You're looking at that wrong. That ain't God. No, baby, that's God right there. You gotta move quick.
Come on, man.
You gotta move quick.
Come on, man.
No, baby, that's God right there. Babe, we need to get a new car. We need the family. You gotta move quick.
Yeah.
A wife helps you stay sharp. A wife and a husband that's moving in, that's in sync, they can fight anything. Satan can't bring nothing. They may fall, a weapon may be formed. He might be wanting to throw something, but he can't take me out. I got my defense up. My wife is in sync with me. She's in sync with my prayer life. She's in sync with what I'm trying to do. Her prayers, her worship. She opens doors. God reveals things that I'm going through to her.
Yes.
Baby, I know when you get to work today, they might say something crazy. You know how they like to get you riled up, and you know how you're energetic. So just be prayerful today, babe. Throw something. Just be prayerful today, babe.
Yeah.
Be prayerful today, babe. Be prayerful. Now see, a wise man, I'm moving with what she says. Okay, babe, I hear you. Keep swinging. All right, babe, I hear you. You're right. Babe, have you thought about maybe, I know you've been on the job for a little while. Have you thought about going for a promotion with this position? Have you thought about looking at this job? Have you thought about going up for that supervisor position? Have you thought about...
Come on, man. Good job.
You got to be ready to do that. If you're with a man, if somebody's looking at you and you ain't ready to turn yourself into that chick, you need to keep moving on. If you look at them and you can see that the foresight's there, that he don't have that type of insight. He don't even believe in tithes and offering. Sensitive subject. He don't believe in tithes and offering. Malachi 3 and 8. Because if we're going to make some big moves, we can't rob God, baby. If we're going to make some big moves in our family, we can't be thieves. Read Malachi 3 and 8.
Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings.
Well, babe, hey, you know what, man, we was behind on that one bill, so, you know, I just went ahead and put that $200. But, babe, you took it out of our tithes money? Oh, babe, you know, hey, God no, I'm gonna make that up. I'm gonna hit that right back. We gonna, wait, no, babe, you took the tithes money and you paid the. Yeah, ain't no, babe, we'll make it up. We're gonna get it. We're gonna make it back up. Don't worry, babe. You took the tithes money and paid the. Babe, you trying to curse what we trying to stop? Babe, I had to get the bill paid. You know, see, here you go. Now I'm gonna get it right back. On my next pay period, I get X amount of money, and I put X amount to make up for it back. Babe, you just took all the provision off the house. Oh no, man, what? See, there you go. See, that's what you're gonna hear if you ain't in tune. That's what you're gonna hear. Don't think that you're gonna find out what kind of man he is when tithing and offering come up. You're gonna find out if he's a man of God, if he really trusts God, or is that just something he said to get with you. When tithing and offering come up, that's gonna, because whoever's the mature person, whoever the mature saint of God is, has to immediately say, no, hey, we ain't robbing God. Whatever we go through, hey, if we late on the bill, we just gonna be late on the bill. We ain't taking the tithes and paying it. We ain't taking offering and paying it. That's another trick. Well, I paid tithes, but then I just took what I would give for offering, and it said in tithes and offering, right? It didn't say just offering or just tithes. It said tithes and offering.
Tithe and offering.
Okay, so that's 15%. 10% tithes, 5% offering. Yes, it does matter. So you might be, if you're wondering why things aren't happening the way they need to be for you, maybe the two of you guys are on one accord and being thieves. You pay God on the back end. You give God what you want to give him after you handle the Cox bill, after you handle the, because the house, I can't miss the, no, we can't fall. Hey, whatever we do, because see, this is the thinking of a proud, prideful man. Whatever we do, we ain't falling behind on the house. I ain't gonna let us fall. No, I ain't doing that. Whatever happened, they're gonna have to understand. I can make that up. Okay. Not realizing it's the favor of God that even got you in the house. Right. It's the favor of God that even got you in the position that you had. It's the favor of God that you're even a family man. It's the hand of God. You don't want to rob God. Don't rob God, man. What's the next verse say?
Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation.
If you hook up with an unbeliever, y'all gonna be cursed with a curse, because they are not gonna be as faithful in tithing and offering as you are, man of God, woman of God. If you hook up with an unbeliever, that shouldn't even be on the table. It sounds weird saying if you hook up with an unbeliever. You shouldn't even be looking that way. But my point is, if you talk to the first thing they got to know is, hey, let me tell you something right now. I am a man of God. I'm a woman of God. That's non-negotiable. I pay my tithes. I pay my offering. Whatever we do, that's coming off the top. If you got a problem with that, don't bring that up 3 dates in. Don't bring that up while you guys are out at Shoney's. Don't bring that up out at Applebee's. That has to be the first thing that comes up. I'm for real. Y'all laughing, but people.
All right, come on.
Y'all laughing, but let me tell y'all something, man. Everybody don't get taught on tithing and offering the way we do.
Right.
There's a whole lot of violators to God's will. You just want to make sure that you don't hook up with one because you have too much destiny on your hands to be falling behind because somebody is not in lockstep with you. Well, then you say to yourself, well, dang, Marcus, well, how do you even deal with, when situations do come up, because couples all have issues, how do you deal with disagreements? How do you deal with, remember, you guys are on one accord. According to Genesis 2 and 24, man left his father and mother to cleave to his wife, and they became one flesh. So you should be able to talk to your partner. You should be able to talk to your soulmate and not front on them. What do I mean by front on them? You don't embarrass your spouse, or you don't have a public dispute out in front of everybody to see. Even if you guys have a disagreement on something, you don't have that disagreement out in public for people to see. You have to look like a unified front. You know why? Because that blesses your kids. Your kids will come right behind and they'll try to emulate what they see. Hey, Proverbs 22 says, train up a child in the way it should go and he will not depart from it, right? So when you have a disagreement, even if you guys see something that y'all don't agree with, you know, it's football season. Y'all know how I love sports. Look at the Patriots. Look at Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the quarterback. Tom Brady could be in a game. Could be third quarter, but they have such a relationship that they built all through training camp, through preseason, through off-season workouts. He's always in the office talking to Coach Belichick about what kind of schemes could come up. What are they going to do against a 3-4 front? What are they going to do if this team runs a nickel package? What are they going to do if they have too high? Too high means two safeties up top. What are they going to do if they have a one shell coverage? There's only one safety and they got a double one. They talk about all that type of stuff. So he knows him in and out. So when he gets in the game and Tom Brady messes up, because all men throw an interception here or there. All men, we've all messed up money or made a mistake, or in our manhood, our pride, we've done something that was unwise. So he tries to force a ball into double coverage. Double coverage means there's two guys there, but he thought he was skilled enough, he had enough accuracy, he thought enough arm to get that ball in between both defenders. There's two defenders there. Common sense says don't do it, but he thought he could do it. So he throws it. Bam, gets picked off. Interception, ball's running back the other way. Now you know Belichick's hot. You know he's hot. But what does he do? Think about it. Bo Pelini's one of the last of those coaches that try to embarrass everybody with the camera watching. Bo Pelini would throw a rant right there on the sideline. Tom Brady walks off to the sideline. Stand up.
Belichick.
Just walk towards me. This is Belichick right here. Arms. Because remember, Belichick sees everything. He's his eyes. He sees everything. He sees the whole field. Tom walks off the field. He stops him. Camera's watching. He'll either have his play sheet or something up. Tell me what you were looking at right there. Tell me what you saw. Tell me what coverage you was looking at. Yeah, I was looking at that too. But you shouldn't have thrown that. Here's what I saw. I saw you had a guy that was open over there. In marriage, your husband might do something foolish. He might mess up some money. He might say the wrong thing. But then when you talk to him, it's got to be, baby, tell me what you were seeing. Tell me what you were thinking about when you made that decision. What were you looking at? I saw that too. But I also saw that there was an opportunity over here that you didn't capitalize on. I saw that there was an opportunity for us to, it's never to degrade or embarrass him. He already feels bad. He knows he made a mistake.
Right.
I saw an opportunity over here. We could have invested that same money. So you went to 2 movies in a row. Okay. Well, I hope they were good movies. But you know how we were planning on going to Tokyo? That would have been probably a good time to start saving, putting some of that money in the savings. That would have been a good time for us to... Oh yeah, I hear you, babe. I hear you. Yeah, when I was thinking about that too, and I was thinking about that right when I was giving them the money for the ticket. I was thinking about, I was like, I probably don't need to go on the. You can sit right there. I probably don't need to go to this movie. I probably need to save some money, put some money to the side. Oh yeah, You know, baby girl's gonna need some school clothes, so I was thinking maybe we could we could probably just get a movie off Netflix or something like that. It's much cheaper. You know, I was thinking, yeah, you know, that's a good idea. I should do that, huh? I should, yeah, you're right. You gotta know how to talk and what to say. Because most men, here's the way that you let the enemy into the relationship. You say the wrong thing because you don't watch your mouth. You say the wrong thing, and men react to it, and they never forget what you said and how you said it. That's one of the worst kept secrets, or one of the best kept secrets about husbands. We never forget what you said and how you said it. So maybe next time we don't run, in our mind, I ain't gonna run that decision by her. Maybe next time I'm just gonna do it, and if it work out, it's cool, and if it don't, well, I'm just gonna keep it hustling. I'm just gonna make that money. And all the while, she's sitting there looking at you like, why don't he just, is he ever going, Hey, babe, I'll be back. I'm about to go, I'll be back. Okay, honey. Let's spend some more money that we weren't going to wait for. He's getting real quiet in here. Satan is looking for that. Satan is waiting for those opportunities. When you were standing up here saying your vows, as the man of God said, there's a demon looking at him, there's a demon looking at you, and he's sizing up. The demon ain't just looking at you, he's sizing up an opportunity. Yeah, they get married. She happy now. She's dainty now. But the minute he says something, all her anger, she going to flash back to other times she used to get angry. She going to flash back to, and she going to go into that mode, and she ain't going to respond right. And then he's going to see how she reacted, and he's going to be like, well, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing to her. I'm not going to run this idea by her. I'm just going to do this on my own. I'm a man. I'm just going to do this on my own, and if it worked, then we good to go. And that's the opening that Satan and demons are waiting on. Now you guys are not communicating. And now you're not on one accord. You're married, but you're not on one accord. Because you don't know how to talk to each other. And there's harsh words. You don't want harsh words in your relationship. Get Proverbs 14, verse 1. Am I making any sense?
Come on now.
Verse 1.
Every wise woman builded her house, but the foolish plucked it down with her hand.
It only takes like 24 hours for you to tear your whole household down. You can tear your whole household down within 24 hours by saying the wrong thing or having the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah.
It ain't what you said, it's how you say it. It ain't what you said, it's how you said it. How do you mend mistakes? How do you get over situations when they come up? It's how you say it. You want to have a soft tongue. You want to have soft words. You need to learn that now before you get married. You got to have soft words, because you know what? This man, he ain't ever seen what he's trying to do before. So he's trying to do something that's never been done in the history of his family, and you got to be aware of that before you go into it. You see why you want a man of God? Because if you ain't got a man of God, you got somebody that'll go back to hustling, or somebody that'll go back and hitting the block. He has ideas of how he can, they always hit, hey, I got ways I can make some money. They don't ever try to trust in God like you've been doing. They're not looking for God to do what Philippians 4:19, when we're talking about him supplying all your needs. They're not looking at that. They're looking at, I got to make this move. I got to make this, man. How can I make this pay? And they just go straight into hustle mode. But you pulled him. You went and got him, so you stuck with whatever you have. But if you've got a man of God, you can still mess up the relationship or mess up the household by not having a soft tongue. Men operate by praise. And if you have a hard time praising God, how are you going to praise your husband? If you don't have a relationship with God, if you don't get up, if you don't praise God every morning, it's going to be real hard for you to find the words to say to you. If you just get up silently, you're going to have a hard time finding the right words to get up and say to your husband or wife. You won't know what to say. You don't have those soothing words to help mend a situation. And then you're sitting there with a void. You're sitting there with a problem in the middle of your marriage and wondering why we can't progress past that, because there's no communication. There's no communication. Things have not been soothed over, and there's no review. The husband doesn't review because I'm a man. The woman's like, well, I'm tired. You a man, but I'm tired. I'm tired. You're always making the same mistake. I'm tired. You all.
Sure. Come on.
It gets real quiet up here, and it's kind of eerie. So you gotta. I mean, it's really eerie.
Go ahead and teach.
There's no medication. There's no medicinal words being spoken that can soothe the situation. Instead of insinuating his mistakes, how come you don't praise his strengths? Praise his attributes.
All right now.
Remember the man of God that came to get you. Remember the man of God that came down this aisle and made a vow before everybody. Remember, especially if he cut his family off for you.
Come on.
You got to remember the man of God that you have. You got to remember the great things about him. And you got to tell him. You got to remind him. You don't want to be the person that's waiting to the last minute to say something great about your husband. Everybody's always beating you to the punch saying something wonderful about your husband. That is a problem. Because sooner or later, he's going to stop looking to you for adulation. He won't even talk to you. Men shut down like that. Brian, am I lying? Men will shut down like that. Men will shut down. If you don't praise them, if you don't tell them what a great job they are doing, or how great they are, or how you love them, if you don't encourage that man of God, he's sitting there hurting and you don't even realize it. Because he's beating himself. He's just like Tom Brady on that field. He's beating himself up over the interceptions that he's thrown. And now Satan and that demon are just jumped on his back. See, look where you got the family at. Remember Rafi up here hitting me? Look where you got the family at, because you don't know what to do or what to... See, now look where you got the family at. And then you're not saying anything. Pretty soon, you've got a big mess on your hands. God ain't getting no glory in that house. The praise has stopped. And then the only time the praise resurfaces is when you come in those 5 doors. But you can't do all your living in here. There has to be some praise and some salvation and some worship going on when you're outside of the house.
Come on now.
You got to be on one accord. Because if you're not, it's going to trickle all the way down to the kids. The kids learn how to praise God by watching the parents. They learn about God's statutes by watching the parents. You know, you look real crazy trying to tell your son you need to be paying attention in Sunday school if you ain't ever sat him down at home and told him about the word. You ain't ever, if he's never seen you, or you never practiced godly precepts and principles in front of him, you look crazy telling him, well, why ain't you doing this in church? How come? And then you're embarrassed if one of the Sunday school teachers come, your child, okay, so we were doing this project and your child just looking at me crazy like he don't want to be a part of it. Not my child. Hey, what you doing? But really, all he's doing is practicing what he, and in his mind, that little child's mind, he's like, Daddy, you and Mommy don't ever praise God. What am I supposed to say? What? I've never seen Mommy worship. The only time I see Mommy jump around is when she's here. Anytime when she's at home, she's telling me, leave me the hell alone and go in your room. Or Dad's like, hey, shut up with all that noise. I'm trying to sleep. That's our only communication until we get here. And then she's, and then he's, oh, I thank you. And your son's sitting there looking at you like, I have never seen that before. And your child gets called on in Sunday school to do something, no, baby, I need you to pray. Dismiss us in prayer. Come on, baby, we need you. Come on, you can do it. Just dismiss us in prayer. God, thank you for being here. I guess. Amen. And you be so embarrassed. You're like, oh, no, not my child, not my baby. No, not my. You be wanting to yank their arm off when you get home. You better not let to. Where did they learn it from? Or where did they not learn it from? Oh boy. This is interesting today. No, don't stop. Don't do all that. I can't wait for Bishop to get over this cold. Proverbs 22. Blame the pain medicine. There you go. 22:6, even though I just said it.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
But you know what the flip side of that is? You know what the blessed part is? When your son or daughter has seen you to make moves of faith, when they've seen you stand on God's promises, when they've seen you at home with something pressing against you and you're praising God, and they've seen you and they always see, it could be all hell going on. That conversation I talked about, like, what did you see when you did that? Y'all can have that behind closed doors, but in front of your family, when your kids are looking, all they see is praise. They see, baby, I love you. All right, baby, did you have a good day? They pleasant words, kindness, that does something to their spirit. That does something to their confidence. They start to believe that, you know what, that God that you're talking about is real. It's real. And so they can know, they don't understand money problems. Like all our kids think that we have like hundreds and hundreds of dollars set off to the side for them. Like they see something immediately. If they're anything like Jackson Tyler Crawford, Dad, can we go get those Jordans? Dad, ooh, they just came out with a new movie on DVD. They got a new book from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Dad, they've got these new jerseys that... They just have that shine in their eye. They don't understand money problems. But they may not understand money problems, but they do understand that, some things come against you, some things go for you, some things go against you. They understand, mildly the vicissitudes of life. But they've never seen you panic because of the prayer life that you have. They've never seen you panic because you trust in the God that you serve, the way you worship. That house is filled. There's an atmosphere of praise. So they don't have any other recourse but to follow suit. So whether it's Sunday school or not, they're trying to have their own relationship with God. Then you start getting those interesting questions. Dad, I think I need the Holy Ghost.
All right.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Dad, can you help me with the Sunday school assignment? Mom, can you... You start getting stuff like that. And then you've trained up somebody that can go out into society and not fall on their face. What we don't want, the reason that this is so important is we don't want to have our child showing us one face in here, but then they're out there in public, they're out there and they crumble and crack under the pressure that society puts on them. You know what I mean? Like, we all love our kids. We don't want our kids, but remember, it goes back to what have they seen the father and the husband and wife do? You don't want your child to leave here and be somebody completely different than what we all know. All we know is we pray for them, we cover them, but when they leave there, they have to take what they've learned for themselves and what they've seen mom and dad do at home, and they have to apply it. Right. Because they're going to stand out. They're going to look different. You look different. You stand out. Be honest, you stand out at work, don't you? Everybody at your job for some reason, there's somebody at your job that doesn't like you, right? And they can't put their finger on it. They can't even express why they don't like you. They just don't like you. Your child has to learn how to deal with that, but you get hooked up with the wrong one, they ain't going to learn. They'll learn turmoil. So then you've got that child that's going to school and just hitting people. Teacher was telling me, man, now you got kids just at school hitting somebody, trying to take out their aggression. I'm just mad because I'm not getting love at home, and mommy don't like daddy, daddy don't like mommy. And they just kick somebody, slapping people at school for no reason.
Come on, that's good.
Baby, why did you do that at school?
Yep. Come on.
What is wrong with that little 3-year-old, that little third grader? It's a product of an unhappy home. That's the product of somebody unequally yoked. That's the product of somebody getting with someone that they thought was foreign or had the big booty or he was so swole or whatever, but they did not do any internal searching and find out whether or not it was a man or woman of God. And now you got this little angry being at school walking around, pushing teachers, kicking people, spitting on them, breaking pencils and throwing stuff, all acting out of the fact that they can't reciprocate what was at home. They got trained all right. They got trained how to throw that left hook and duck. Because they're used to daddy and mommy fighting, and that's what they know. And if it's a girl, she knows when in doubt, grab the frying pan. Dad'll get him out the house. Anyway.
Go to teach it, man.
Yeah, this really wasn't what I was planning on saying.
It should be.
Proverbs 31. Trust me, I'm almost done. You want to be a virtuous woman of God. The man that finds you has to know that he found something good. 31 verse 10, Mom.
10.
10.
Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Far above, you gotta know, man. You gotta know what you bring to the table. When you know what you bring to the table, can't just anybody approach you.
All right.
Again, I go back to, I'm just using me. I've known my wife since we was both walking the halls of Northwest High School. Actually, I met her before. No, I met her before she got to Northwest. I met her when I was sitting back there where she's sitting right now, and Mom was up there playing the keyboard, and she was standing right there with this purple plaid shirt, some braids, and some braces. Yes, I do remember. When you see something good, you remember. I didn't know what I was looking at other than, wow, that's... It wasn't... If you know, if those of y'all that have been around here for a year, you know Grace has always had some fine honeys in here. It ain't like, I'm not sitting there saying like, man, ain't nobody else in here cute but that one. There's a lot of good-looking women here, but there was something about that that was like, wow. And I remember thinking that as a 16-year-old kid. And then we became best friends, and like I said, but even after all of that, after the history of us knowing each other, I didn't make a move towards her without talking to her, without getting permission from her, and talking to the man of God. Now, I'm not saying that the person that comes after you has to do it the exact same way, but they ought to know that when you look at something that's far above rubies, you don't just walk up on that any kind of way. There has to be something to your approach. You have to look like you are really in pursuit of something. You know what? If I'm looking at a ruby, I look like somebody that wants jewelry.
All right, come on.
My walk distinguishes me as somebody that's looking for something, the finer things. I don't come off like, yeah, y'all know that walk. Yeah, I've done it before. Yeah, I don't come off like this. Hey. That's the hand always. And there you are with your butt up. That chick is stupid. I hate that. Hey. The women I know, they wouldn't even break stride. Hey. Anyway. He has to know what he's looking for. He has to know what he's seeing. Amen?
Amen.
Last thing, and I'm done. I'm going to get out y'all way because y'all sitting there. Y'all looking at me like, shut up. Y'all looking at me like, shut the blank up.
Go ahead, Marcus.
2 Corinthians 6, verse 14 through 16. To summarize it all.
2 Corinthians 6.
2 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 14 through 16.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?
Do y'all know what fellowship means? What does fellowship mean? Like what? What'd you say? You say coming together? We know where your head's at. No, no. What's fellowship for real? Okay, communication. Okay, so in other words, communication is somebody you hang out with, right? Okay. If this is the only time that you fellowship with saints of God, and you go out there and none of your friends, none of the people none of your trusted confidants are in your phone that are saints of God, like you got like 35 contacts, but none of them believe God, none of them believe the word. Y'all know, okay, look. You see what I'm getting at? Like if you got a bunch of friends, none of your friends are in church.
Right.
You are the only person like you in your circle. Am I making sense now? Okay. If you are the only person like yourself in your circle, there is a problem. You don't need to search for or meet or run into anybody. You need to make God first in your life. You need to change some things. It could be that, and I've seen people get frustrated, like, I don't ever run into nobody. Why are you trying to run into something? Look who you're around, look what you do, look how you act. What do you mean, why don't you run into somebody? Why are you being the aggressor? Don't nobody want an aggressive woman. That is scary. I don't care how fine she is. I got stalked by somebody like that at the church years ago. That ain't fun. I'm just going to tell you, an aggressive woman, I don't care how fine she is, that is not fun. Because it starts off, she's giving you her number. It starts off, she's putting her number in your hand. It ends with her call, how come you don't call me? Oh my God. And here's the funny part. While y'all laughing, she had been here longer than I had at that time. I'm just saying, Stephen, I'm just saying. She had been here, but one conversation turned into, how come you don't call me? You ain't real. She wasn't cute no more. No. She was cute. Like she was a good-looking girl. Like she was a little light, a little red bone. She was cute. When she said that, she could have been dead at that point. It was like that is not attractive.
She's a fatal.
You overly aggressive, and maybe you're not overly aggressive in your words, but your actions, your energy, you come off. Do you know that you can come off desperate to a dude? Like you got marriage so far on your mind that even your conversation sometimes some of your brothers are like, okay, hey, praise him, praise him, praise him. We need a Holy Ghost explosion quickly. Your actions, your energy, your vibe, your scent, your aroma, that could put off and be attracting the wrong element. You could look like you're not comfortable in your skin. You're not comfortable being a woman of God, and when somebody finds me, I'm like Queenie. I'm running 400. You better hand tag. You better be there. If it ain't, I'm not slowing down. If you're not comfortable in yourself, if you have that like a guy looks at you, a good-looking man sees you. Hey, how you doing? Hi. Your back's already braced like you're waiting for the next compliment so you can say, girl. Ooh, he talked to me today. It's funny till it's you. I'm just saying, we don't want nobody. You don't want to be desperate. We don't want no desperate. We don't have no desperate women of God. We want women of God that are comfortable in their singleness, that are serving God, and when their priest comes, they're just going to be found. They're going to be found already in motion. You do not want to be desperate. You do not want to hook up with somebody that you're not on one accord with. You don't want to hook up with somebody that you don't have you can't have a prayer life with, that you guys can't communicate and you share your innermost thoughts. He has to be able to share his innermost thoughts with you, and you have to be able to share your innermost thoughts with him. If he starts laughing when you speak in tongues, you got a problem. If he goes, when you start praising God in the middle of a problem, you got a problem. If you're scared to talk to him or you're scared to talk to her in the middle of a crisis, you've got a problem. And that could be, you could be a man of God or a woman of God. If you don't, you can't Kenny can't get nothing outside of Trey. He ain't gonna be successful. The reason he's running the promotions is because he has Trey. Daddy ain't gonna be successful with Lexi on the side. Daddy ain't gonna be successful if Lexi ain't lockstep with him as he's ascending. I can't be successful without Coco. If my wife doesn't believe in my gifts, we got a problem. We got a serious problem. Amen?
Amen.
That's all I got, man. Y'all looking at me like I'm...